Hi guys, this is Jim Bounds with Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and I'm going to talk a little bit something today that you really need to pay attention to. You really need to think about this. It's fire. Fire danger in a motorhome. It's a real problem. Yeah, hang on a minute. Let me shut this door here. We've got a bunch of, there we go, bunch of things going on out there. But I thought this was so important, really. I had a customer that had designed some fire systems, and he passed away. And I thought it was so important that really we picked the building back, the business back up. I wanted to tell you a little bit about that, but more important is fire safety in a motorhome. Okay, you've always heard of three kinds of fires, A, B, and C. Well, there's a D fire that's metal, and a K fire in a restaurant. We don't want to mess with that. But there's A, B, and C. Let's talk about those. A fire is a fire that leaves an ash. Wood, paper, you, your dog. B fire is a vapor fire. What burns? We have gasoline, right? Kerosene, coolant, ethylene glycol burn too. So we've got Class B is vapor fire. Class C is an electrical fire. Well, actually, electricity can't burn, but it can get so hot that it'll melt the insulation. It'll catch on fire anything next to it. So an electrical fire is an electrically ignited fire. All right. So think about this. Your motorhome is made out of 85% Class A material. Okay. Being hurled down the highway at 8.1 Richter scale vibration by Class B explosive vapor. And we have two 12-volt electrical systems and one AC electrical system with an AC generator on it, or a Class C fire. You know, what could go wrong, right? It's all thrown in a bucket, hauls down the road, anything can go wrong. If the engineers built a motorhome the way they would build an aircraft has very heavy duty regulations and all this. So we would be safer, right? But you couldn't afford it. So there's a balance between the manufacturer of RVs, what they use for materials and things like that. Fire safety, you have to do this yourself. You have to think about fire yourself. So let's think about that. What's the first thing? What's the one thing you don't want to say when you're in a public pool, other than floating? Help. Raise your voice. You say help. Why would that be a problem? Well, the guy that's sitting there, the lifeguard, is trained to, as soon as he hears that word help, is to go into action, right? Well, when you're traveling in a motorhome, if you see a problem, if you see fire, you're the driver. You want to immediately, or you're the passenger, anybody that sees a problem, you really yell, fire, right? You've got to make a plan. You know, in elementary school, they had a thing at school and told you make a plan at your house and, you know, stop, drop, and roll and all these things. We all nod our head. And we had a business plan. You know, we didn't have a plan. We didn't do that. We thought we were okay because mom and dad said it was all right. But the reality was, it would be nice to make a plan. And you guys that did have a plan and your parents made you do it, good on you. So you need a plan. When you're in a motorhome, you have less than 2 minutes. You have less than a minute to make some very right decisions, because the interior motorhomes are flammable. This one has double layer of insulation. It's like a cannoli. It will, when this thing catches on fire, it is going to get hot in here. Okay? So you have to make some very good decisions very quickly. Okay? First thing you need to do is recognize the problem immediately. Be aware. You say, well, I saw that smoke out there for a while. I didn't figure it was me. Well, it might be you. If a guy pulls up next to you on the highway, beeping his horn and waving his hands, chances are he's not a long lost high school buddy wanting to give a big bear hug. Chances are there's a problem with your motorhome. So what are you going to do? Oh, start looking in the mirrors? No. Pull over. Every second counts. Immediately pull over. Immediately you yell, fire. Person in the passenger seat heads toward the door, because your job in life is to stop that thing. Stop now. Get on the side of the road. Stop and get out. You don't want to know what it is. Okay? So that's the way you need to drive and be aware. Right? How about in your bedroom? How many people have know where your egress door is, because it's required to have an egress door in the back of your motorhome, in your bedroom, because chances are something's going to happen in the hallway, right? That's where the refrigerator is. We'll talk about that. There's where the stove and all that kind of stuff is. So if you're in the back of the coach, you need to get out. Okay? So do you know where that egress window is? Have you ever opened it? Have you ever tried to go out of it? You might want to give it a shot. Because if you're in the back of the coach and there's a fire in the front of the coach and the door's in the front of the coach, you don't want to go forward into the fire, right? That's why the window's there. Also, you need to have some sort of a fire system or fire equipment in the bedroom. Why? Well, think about this. I'm going to ask you guys to answer this question first. Make sure you answer this right, because it's a very important question. If you and your wife are in the bedroom back there and there's a fire in the front, who goes out the egress window first? Egress window first. Got the answer? Good. There you go, guys. Your wife goes out first. Feet first, belly down, throw the blanket out the window, throw her out the window next. She's got a broken ankle, that's okay. Because the chances are when she goes out, you're going to get some burn, because the thing is going to go fast. Met a guy that had a really, really nice motorhome, built very, very well. He caught on fire. He grabbed his laptop and his dog, had a little dog, got outside and had to borrow some shorts because it went up so fast. It was it. Okay? So you're going to probably get burned. You're going to get hot if you're going to go out second. So what you need to do is you need to have some sort of a fire extinguisher or something in the bedroom. Very important. You're only going to carry one, put it in the bedroom. Well, look, let's put it this way. Check your schedule. Is there anywhere on that schedule that says you're going to have a fire? You can't schedule a thing. You have to prepare for it. It doesn't take much just to have something in the bedroom. We'll talk about this in a second. The second thing is RVIA requires, Recreational Vehicle Association requires a fire extinguisher at the door. Now, everybody raise your hand. You got one? Yeah. You ever touched it? Yeah. You ever done anything with it? If it's a dry powder chemical extinguisher, think about it a minute. You got a powder in there, and the powder shakes around. You know when you buy a thing of 20 mule team Borax, it comes in a cube. You think it was built in a cube? It was a powder once. They shook it into a cube. Well, that dry powder chemical extinguisher, all the suppressant is in the bottom, and it's in a cookie. It's not going to come out. And even if it does, it's designed for a house fire. Okay? If you shoot a dry powder chemical extinguisher against this wall, it's dirt. It's going to hit the wall. It's going to fall down. If the fire's down there, well, then good. But if the fire's right there, all you're going to try to do is blow it out with a propeller. Okay? It's the wrong kind of thing to have. But if it's at the door, it can still do its job, even though it's a piece of junk, because it made you go to the door, right? Say, oh, fire. Let's go to the door. Let's get the fire extinguisher. You grab that thing, you turn around. Let's leave. Because the fire extinguisher brought you to the door. So it really did its job. You can put a bolt right through the middle of it, but it will still do its job. But it would really be nice to have something there that would actually do the job, okay? What's the definition of an auto-deploy fire system? Auto-deploy means it's going to go off when it gets too hot. Well, say you're in a bar, and you're minding your own business, you've never been in there before, and you're having a beer at the bar, and this big guy, this big drunk guy, starts picking at you. And he's between you and the door. What are you going to do? Well, you should pick up a bar stool and hit him once hard and run, right? That's what an auto-deploy fire system is. You do everything you can to prepare. And when something happens, pull the cord, you do whatever you're supposed to do, and you leave the house. Elvis, leave the building. That's what an auto-deploy fire system does. This is 1 pound of clean agent gas. It's great for behind the refrigerator, battery compartment, aqua hot, places that are reasonably enclosed because this is gas. You want to contain the gas to 5% by volume. This will treat about 16.8 cubic feet of airspace to 5% by volume. At 5%, the airspace could be glowing red hot, but it won't be on fire because this has treated the oxygen. You have to have fuel, right? You have to have oxygen, and you have to have an ignition source. You take any one of those three away, that's the fire triangle, fire goes out. So what clean agent gas does is helps take the air out of the equation, the oxygen. Works in enclosed areas. Well, going down the highway in a motorhome, that may not be the bright thing because as soon as the concentration goes below 5%, it dissipates. There's nothing there. We also produce firefight products. By the way, I haven't said that yet. Name of my company is Firefight Products. My wife told me it's kind of interesting. Yesterday, I wore my Firefight shirt to do a co-op video. Today, I got my co-op shirt and I'm doing a firefight video. Sorry about that. But anyway, Firefight Products also uses foam, high compressed foam, like you see at the airport. Airplane comes in on fire, they go make a big white cupcake out of it. What it does is it puts a suffocant layer over whatever's burning because it's a viscous fluid. Remember Ghostbusters? Remember when Spud slimed Aykroyd, right? Poof, it's full of goo. Well, what foam does, it takes and explodes and it puts a goo, a non-flammable goo on everything. That's what stops the fire. So it would stick to the wall. Hits the wall, it'd stay there. Fires on the wall, sticks to the wall, puts it out. It's water-based, non-toxic, non-corrosive. It won't, like on an antique car, it won't wipe out something. Actually, it's kind of it's almost a soap-based chemical. It's an emulsifier. Dawn dishwashing liquid. You know how you put a drop of Dawn in it, and I probably can't do this legally, right? But it has all the grease go to the side of the pan. It does that because it's an emulsifier, and it grabs the carbon molecule. Without carbon, hydrocarbon can't burn. So you'll take a fuel, grease, or whatever, and you'll turn it inert. So foam is a really good product for a petroleum-based or a hydrocarbon fire. So what Firefight does is this is 2 liters of foam. You mount that in the coach. You take a Teflon lined hose, you run it to a head just like you see in a building, sprinkler head. Most reliable, matter of fact, the company is called Reliable. When the ambient temperature in the engine compartment reaches 286 degrees Fahrenheit, boom, this thing goes off, fills the engine compartment. It sends a 4.5-foot diameter umbrella, 360 degrees of foam. Anything it touches, if it's on fire, chances are it's going to go out because foam is a really, really good suppressant on hot things, on open air. It doesn't blow out like the gas would. So it's great for engines, generators, open air areas. If you have a garage and you got a car in it, put one over the car. If gets hot, it will throw a blanket on top of the car. Pretty cool stuff. Another way we have it is this is a 16-ounce can of foam. Same stuff we were talking about before. You say, well, it's about the size of a can of bug spray. So, well, what's that going to do? Well, this will give you 12 to 15 seconds worth of spray, 8 to 10 foot distance. I was going to get a trash can in here and do this, but I'll tell you what, stand by. I got a tub right here. Now, you don't shake it. There's a problem. If you need a fire, just watch and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 seconds worth of spray, but far enough away from the fire to put it out. Pretty nice stuff. We sell those for $25. I would have one of those next to the driver's seat. I would definitely put one at the door because it actually works. I put one in the bedroom. Put one in the LP compartment. Why is that? Because the LP compartment's not supposed to be locked. So you've got one outside. You can put it in the tow car, in the shop. You're out there welding, something gets hot. There you go. So this SS20, we sell a lot of these. Great for petroleum-based fires. Firefight makes a larger ones for big pusher diesels. We make smaller ones for trucks, what have you. But the important thing about fire is you need to prepare yourself because it does happen. Now, yes, odds are low, okay? If the odds were 50-50, would you do something about it? Well, of course you would. Well, just count of it. That every time you fire it up, it could fire up or it could blow up. I mean, seriously. Minimum, at a minimum, if you have something to fight your way out of the vehicle, awesome. If you want to put something in there to hit the fire in the engine with something immediately, like the guy in the bar, you put one of these in. These are about $400, $419 for the system for your engine. These are $25 for your refrigerator. If you have an absorption refrigerator, this is the #1 thing you need to do to hopefully protect yourself. This is one pound of clean agent gas. When it reaches 155 degrees behind the refrigerator, boom, it goes off. It's a great piece. Sell a lot of these. All right. Well, I didn't want to make this gratuitous advertising. I want it to be more about, think about fire. Think about fire problems in an RV. You are enclosed in that sucker, and you're hurling down the highway at 55 or 60 miles an hour. If the fire's behind you and you stop, where's the fire going to go? Forward. And if it gets to the door before you do, Capcom, we have a problem. That's why it's really, really important. I had a coach I built one time as an antique GMC. The guy told me that he heard the fire truck coming onto the entrance of the highway because somebody behind had called. When he saw the fire truck, he noticed in his mirror some smoke. He pulled over, got out, and that was the last he saw of the motorhome. The fire truck was right there, didn't even save the tires. It goes up fast. Brother, it just does. If you've ever seen it happen, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't seen it happen, feel fortunate. And just do a few things to protect yourself. Having insurance to cover it and watching it burn in a bag of marshmallows is not enough. That's not getting prepared. You need to do something more. It's not expensive. It's not hard. It's really what you should do. If you're going to be in this motorhome world and enjoy what it's about to be on the highway and all this, you need to protect yourself. So this is Jim Bounds again. And if you have any questions, send me something. Join our Patreon club. We've got a lot of neat things for that. If you're a GMCer, of course you should. If you're not, still, you might learn some stuff. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you again.